Oh, well, it's been a few days, but I can't remember exactly the last time I downloaded one of these, but that's okay. Uh, I was looking at a video with that Betsy Devos that's over the education, and she's disgusting, isn't she? She's really against public schools, free school, um, and she's dumb as dirt. I think we're looking at people that are in the White House that are white, like Trump, probably even his children, that got passed because they're white. And, and that's been one of the biggest conspiracies that is going on is the uneducating our children in a sense. Our education system declining, um, that our children are going more towards drugs and prostitution. Like, look how many new stars in the female career are now, or in the rap, even just say the rap, just the rap entertainment industry, that they're coming out of dance clubs like Cardi B. There's a lot of them. Like, I'm trying to think of her name, but that's okay. But anyway, that's besides the point. But and you have to think about it. Who does it benefit? Our children not being educated? China, Japan, where the 1% have their manufacturing. Is it in the best interest of the multi elite rich, that 1% that we always hear about, that own everything in the United States, everything in the world? They own manufacturing the goods that travel all around the world. Be it food, clothes, something in transportation, trains, planes, cars, whatever, motorcycles. That you know, to destroy the United States, simple fact. Attack the people. And what's the number one thing you use? Jealousy. Jealousy. Whites jealous of blacks. Blacks, jealous of themselves. Blacks, African Americans, when they look at themselves in the mirror, they jealous. They see that nigga in the mirror and they be like, how you get all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? You bite off your nose to spite your face. And that's been the whole thing, using race division, to divide the country, to conquer it. And what's the first thing you attack? The children. How do you attack the children? Through the education and food. What's the one thing in common that everybody that that's obese eats? Cold cereal with milk. Okay? They love the cereal. I find it too high dollar. What costs a box of cereal and the thing, and plus the shit is nasty. It's acquired taste. So, you know, um, so that's like the number. So the number one thing is, yeah, is China taking over the lead? Yeah. What are we? Anyway, that's about only thing. And get out and vote tomorrow up in Pennsylvania. Um, we have to vote Democrats in, and maybe we could get the treasonous traitor, uh, want to be spy Trump out. He loved, you know. Anyway, let me just. This is gonna be a quick one, real quick. I'm gonna sum it up by saying this: that it has been in China's best interest that we have a person like Betsy DeVos over education when you're trying to destroy the base of the United States. China is looking towards the future uh, with solar, wind energy. They have really no choice. They're repairing some of their land that they had destroyed, regrowing it back to what it was once before, um, bringing its farmers back. It's self-sufficient with its food. It's not uh, uh, it's not modified um, um, genetically, um, um, and they're looking for the future, and we have Republicans. They're looking to the past. We don't actually have a time machine, but there is this idea in chronic. What is it? Physics. What is that called? It's sort of like what is it? Chronic physics. Anyway, um, sort of like with Star Trek, where you could move somebody molecule by molecule to another space. Um, yeah, why don't we get some Republicans that have volunteered for that one? Quantum physics, I think. There's some study there. They're always looking for that human that want to be the first to If you ever seen the movie Fly, except for just imagine instead, well, theoretically it wouldn't work, but who knows? Anyway, so basically what I'm trying to say is that Cold War did not end when we think the Cold War ended, and I'm not sure. I think it was somewhere in the 70s, when there was having influx of Russians that were coming in. At least I know in my neighborhood, and I can only gauge that by the classmates that I had in elementary school and junior high school that was coming in that area. So, and another thing is, and you can look at plenty of examples also. You have to degrade the woman. You have to sexualize her in such a way uh, that that she's going to be uncomfortable, being around males in a lot of situations. And you have to have males being very comfortable, uh, you know, um, with each other in such a way that you know they don't mind a lot of physical touching. Uh, this brings a greater divide because if you want to destroy the child, worse, degrade the woman, sell the woman, into um, and be an uneducated parent to where you're actually destroying the golden goose or the goose that lays the golden egg. You ate that for dinner and then want to you know, beat her chickens because they ain't big enough to lay eggs. You know. But anyway, um, so yeah, Betsy DeVos is a good example on how Russia and China seem to somehow to work together. And you see that with the new Silk Road that China has invest time and money in, so to cut the time to bring supplies to Europe, and there's a lot of and Chinese, like who out of China has much experience? Because American Chinese, I don't think are anything like the ones that are on the continent over there in China. It's just different culture. And China's and the rest of the world, the culture that they see of America is what you call urban culture or the black culture or the African American culture. The white culture is more of blackmail, embezzlement, uh, you know, uh, murdering, and polluted. Nobody wants to emulate that. You know, a sort of a double binding hypocrite narcissistic type of self-destructive mentality that we could see in Trump and now in with the Republicans. It's came to a fessure um, uh, uh, in the last year and a half, and the only hope for America is if Mueller and the FBI uh, take their oath to the Constitution and to protect sovereign of America. Because, I don't know what the oath was, but they have taken an oath to protect the United States' best interests, not Trump's best interests, not the Republicans' best interests, not the best interests of the lobbyists, uh, you know, uh, not the best interests of the NRA, not the best interests of, of different business corporations, because we see the corporations, they're going to go where they could get the most educated people. And right now, let's just face it, that's China, Japan, and other places in that general area. Um, it's not the United States. Because as you can see, Betsy Devos, she represents how the Republicans want to govern the citizens of the United States. So I say, if they have not invented a time machine, then they're way behind the Chinese. You know, and it is in the best interest of China, because it wants they're being very nice, and they're in Africa, they're being very nice, and they're not using the people there, they're bringing in their people, and they're a little bit more fair with how they leave, the land and stuff. So, I think they have a very learned people. I think instead of going back into their past to relive that and somehow, retard their growth like the United States is doing, and regressing, uh, uh, back to childhood or something, to go back in the past. But basically, the United States and Republicans are talking about retarding the growth of the United States, where China and other people in that region are looking towards the future, and their future is their children, which they are educating very well, and that they're doing excellent work in manufacturing supplies uh, to one place, the United States. Okay, so I think that the United States Constitution is in a crisis, and uh, the Republicans are helping the Chinese take over America by the Republicans with their type of governing stepping on the heads of our children to keep them down.